the CDs. All right, so you are getting it all in one package. Number one, you're finding out from the very best in the world about it, and number two, then you've got a course that
you're taken through. There is a remote viewing CD that takes you through all the different protocols, gives you all of the how to get the local sidereal time effect, how to get the geomagnetic field strength, when to do your experiments, how to do them, and then it's as if you came into my laboratory and I interviewed you as if you were a remote viewer.
All right, so all these DVDs and CDs, how much are people paying and how do they get them?
Oh, $219.95. I made it as cheap as I could possibly make it.
Okay.
And you get, I feel very strongly about that. I try to, this stuff is as good as I can make it. It's broadcast quality DVDs.
Right.
It's studio produced CDs. And if you take them together, then you get a workbook too that has all the forms.
No, that's a big package.
You get everything we know. And I did this because I wanted to have a gold standard body of material that was backed by all of the actual real research.
I'm clear. And so is there a phone number or what?
You go to my website. Click on DVDs. It'll take you, actually go to www.nemoseen.com.
All right.
Nemoseen.com. Nemoseen.com. That's the company that does the distribution, and all the stuff is there. I don't need to say more.
All right. That's wonderful. I wish you luck on all of that. And just one more item before we go to the phones, and that is Lucifer.
That was Ed. Out on the left side on that one.
Well, no, look, that was Ed Dames.
Oh, tell me the story. Yeah, you were going to tell me what happened.
And Ed Dames told me ahead of time he was going to remote view Lucifer in 88. And he claimed that he found Lucifer as a legitimate and real entity and was a force so gigantic and so purely evil that, now this will get you, that at one point Ed said this entity recognized the fact that he was associating with it, and it scared the you-know-what out of him. And there are many people who feel since that encounter, Ed Dames has never been quite the same. In fact, he would deny adamantly, but there are many of us who think that it may have changed him in some way. That's a pretty wild story.
Well, actually, it would. You know, my only observations are these. How would you know whether you had encountered a thought form or an actual being? A thought form being a kind of archetypal force created by the focused, intended awareness of hundreds of thousands or millions of people. So how would you know whether you were dealing with a real being or simply the...
I don't know.
But either way, contacting that energy would definitely not be good for one's mental health.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
Okay. All right.
Whether it's an actual being or simply a collection of intentioned awareness, either way, contacting something that's that negative may not be good for you.
Maybe it doesn't matter which it is.
It doesn't make functionally, it would make a difference.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Phone calls I have for you. First time caller line, you're on with Stephen Schwartz.
Hi.
Hello. You're on a cell phone, aren't you?
Yes.
Where are you?
In Hampton Roads.
Hampton Roads. All right. Do you have a question for Stephen?
Yes, Stephen. I want to comment and ask your opinion on this. Man and dinosaur living contemporaneously.
Right.
You alluded to the fact that there was scientific evidence refuting that, but in Glen Rose, Texas, Dr. Carl Ball, yes, he has found a footprint, a man's footprint within a dinosaur's footprint.
We know. I've had him on the I've interviewed him. He believes firmly that they were on Earth together, and you know Dr. Ball, right? Or his work.
I know the work.
And so I guess this caller then wanted to know your reaction to that. I mean, there they were, footprints side by side.
Well, I have two reactions. One is, that particular body of material is so problematic. I mean, I have I've not personally seen it, and so I'm not altogether comfortable expressing an opinion on it. But from what I have read, that is all highly problematic evidence. So I don't quite know what to make of it. I mean, I guess that's the best thing I can say is I don't know what to make of it. There is a possibility that some, so we know that there are creatures, there are certain kinds of fish, for instance, that date back to that period.
Well, see, there is a problem in the regression, when they put the skulls together and they're going back, supposedly we evolved from apes, right? Well, there's a problem in that sequence, and there's a few holes they haven't quite filled in yet in that sequence to prove it absolutely. And there are people who have the view that there may have been an intervention of some kind.
Yeah, Arthur Kessler thought that there had been an intervention. In fact, he wrote in Janus, a book he wrote some years back, he argued that the greatest focus we should make on medical research was getting the high mammalian brain, the high brain, talk to the mammalian and reptilian brain, and that this resulted because there was a manipulation and intervention. It's possible. I mean, it is possible. There is no way to refute that. You can't prove a negative. So it is possible that that's true. Have we ever been contacted? It strikes me as awfully pompous to believe you're the only species in the universe.
Yes, well, that's a fairly well-expressed point of view, but as a remote viewer, can you actually go back and determine any of these questions? Is there a way?
Well, you could go back in time. Could you go back? I never thought about that. Yes, you could go back to the moment of the Big Bang. Yes, you could.
Well, wouldn't that be a scenic trip? Wouldn't that be scenic? The moment of the Big Bang.
I'm not sure whether you would get very useful information because somebody would say, well, it goes from infinitely small to... I'm just not sure how helpful what you would get would be, but
if you've got some spare time, Stephen,
I might do that.
Wildcard
I
line.
might do that one. That's an interest. That interests me enough that I may think about that.
Okay, wildcard line. You're on. We're all right.
I'm 20 miles north of Florida line in Dothan, Alabama. We're in the projected path of the storm, possibly. And I did have one comment about that. Had you considered that some of the greatest damage from this storm could be done to other parts of the country?
I've considered hurricanes massive like this are terribly damaging. I've considered it, sure.
Well, my thought on that was that considering the Republican Party has a lot of wealth in it, I'm thinking that this storm will damage more Democrats in Florida and could affect the outcome of the election.
Man, I'll tell you, political season.
Yeah, crazy. Anyhow, my question for